Joining us now is an analyst who covers the company, Gil Luria, head of technology research at D.A. Davidson. Gil, great to see you. You think that this is yet another way that CoreWeave is financially engineering their results. Can you explain?
Yeah, CoreWeave is already buying all of Core Scientific's capacity. All they're doing here really is ensuring that Core Scientific doesn't turn around and give its capacity to somebody else, and they're really giving away 10% of the company to accomplish this. Core Scientific doesn't make any money. They lost money last year. They had negative cash flow, so adding them doesn't really add any profits to CoreWeave. And really, there's no, since the companies are in different businesses, there's not really a lot of synergy to derive there. So what they're really doing is they're spending their very expensive capital, their very expensive value of their shares in order to secure those energy contracts. Those are the key right now. We are going to run out of energy for data centers pretty soon. And so securing those contracts is really the motivation behind this deal.
Isn't that, I mean, that sounds like a smart thing then, Gil. I get your points, but I mean, in terms of making sure that you have the energy necessary to grow the business, that sounds like a savvy acquisition.
It is a savvy acquisition. Again, they're using a very expensive stock to secure energy and energy resources, and that is a savvy transaction. But again, it doesn't add to the profitability, and it doesn't change the unit economics of CoreWeave are negative. This is a company that borrows at 12.5% and only generates 5% returns on those assets that it is borrowing for. That would be like taking a 12.5% margin loan to buy treasuries yielding 5%. It doesn't matter how much you scale that. That's not a good business.
Right. Do you believe in the projections for cost savings? You know, the CEO is talking about it's like not paying rent for the next 15 years and the ability to access financing at a cheaper rate.
No, not really. Again, they're in a different business. CoreWeave is in the business of brokering deals to buy GPUs to put in a data center. Core Scientific is in the business of buying the land and building the buildings for a data center. Again, they've been a sole supplier to CoreWeave, so they've already been providing all those services. There's not really anything to cut out. And again, Core Scientific lost money. So all we're doing here is Core Scientific took $1.05 of expenses, sold them to CoreWeave for $1, who turned around and sold that dollar for $1.05. All we're doing here is collapsing $1.05 expenses with $1.05 of revenue. Still not a value generative enterprise.
Does this make Bitcoin miners in general more valuable? That was Core Scientific's business. It's not as attractive to mine Bitcoin anymore. I'm just wondering what that does to valuations, what this deal does.
Yes, it does make the Bitcoin miners more valuable because the business of mining Bitcoin, let's not forget, is entirely competitive, right? You're competing with anybody else that has that equipment anywhere in the world. The returns for that are very cyclical based on crypto winters and summers. Where AI, there's just such an explosion of demand that the value of that power that you can get into that data center, the value of a building that has access to that power is far greater than the value when used for mining Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. That does make anybody that has those types of facilities more valuable. And Core Scientific got an amazing price for a company that was bankrupt less than 2 years ago, because of this unique value, the scarcity value of having data center operations next to an existing power source.